don't stop planting. I don't know where you are in your season right now. You definitely, if you're listening to this, you're definitely maybe not in your reaping season, but I want to encourage you to just keep planting. Yesterday was a day that I don't know. It's like every day for me lately, or there's been, I'll be honest, there's been a lot of days over the last few months that have just been life changing, dynamic, amazing. If I could fast forward a couple, maybe just literally 2 weeks ago, I was struggling. I was asking God, like, man, like, am I ever going to reap a harvest? Am I ever going to reap a consistent harvest? Is it ever going to be enough? Looking at my bank account, thinking about all the money that I've invested over the last 9 to 10 months, and just wondering, like, is it really worth it? If I'm being honest, like, is it really worth it to try to pursue your dream? I talk to kids and I talk to even adults about being their best version of themselves and going after that, a thing that they love, right? But there's a cost that's associated with that. It doesn't come easy. There's a financial cost, there's an emotional cost, there's a mental cost. I mean, there's just costs everywhere. There's an old quote, success success is almost like you basically you never own success, you only rent it. And the payments due basically every single day. So normally rent's due every month. But with success, you got to be willing to pay that rent every single day, right? It's not to say that you won't have days where maybe you don't feel good or you're not in it, but like you got to be willing to pay that price every single day. And it's funny, I'm even talking about rent because if I'm being honest, I was wondering if I was going to be able to pay my rent this week or this month, actually. Tomorrow's February 1st every month. So I'll just be transparent. I live in my mom's house and my rent is pretty cheap. But at the same time, it's still an expense. And just for where I am right now with my business and, the money that I've invested, I was just like, God, I don't know if, just keeping it a buck. I didn't know if I was going to have the income necessary to pay my rent. So yesterday, let me go back even further. A couple of days ago, I was asking a few of my mentors, just kind of bouncing ideas and just saying, hey, would it make sense for me just to do, a couple hours of Uber every week? Maybe even go back to doing Uber full time and doing speaking part time. Because if I'm just being honest, again, life out on this raft, on this ocean it's a little scary sometimes, right? And I wasn't really sure if I was making a wise decision, from the world standpoint. Both of them actually did tell me, like, that it would be responsible, like it wouldn't be a bad idea to maybe consider doing some Uber. However, and especially with I call him my spiritual dad, when he was talking, I had to stop him. I said, Mr. G, I don't feel peace with this. Like, everything you're saying makes sense logically, but I feel like God is telling me, like, there's more to do and that I'm capable of doing more. I may not want to do more, but I'm capable of doing more. Like, I wanted to go back to doing Uber because I'm just gonna be honest with you guys. Uber is actually very simple income. Like the Ubers, the DoorDash, you literally hit a button, and then you get orders. Probably some of the easiest money you'll ever make with the benefit of the flexibility of the schedule. It's not a bad gig at all. However, I've been feeling like God has been calling me to something bigger. But again, but I've been planting. Like, I've been watering, and you know I've seen a couple of showers here and there, right? But it's been nothing to like say like, okay, we're here now. We can rest. Like everything's been like, all right, there's still more work to be done. Still more planting to be done. Still more watering to be done. Hoping for a rainy day, right? And I just remember having this conversation and just feeling, I just felt like God was saying, like, you can do more. You have over $1,000 in your house right now of merchandise that you could go sell. Yeah, it'll be uncomfortable. You'll have to talk to people probably more than you probably want to. You have to make some flyers, put yourself out there even more. But you can do it. And I basically stopped my friend and I was like, Mr. G, if I'm being honest with you, as we were talking, I said, I know exactly what to do. I already feel like God's told me what I need to be doing. But if I'm being honest, I'm scared. I'm scared. I'm tired. Like, I don't know who else can relate to this. But again, this work does not come easy. The toll, again, on the mental, the financial, the emotional, and your relationships, right? Like, I technically left my Bible study to pursue this new ministry. I'm spending less time in my local church because of this new ministry. It's not easy. It wasn't an easy decision to make. I'm literally leaving people that I love, good people, to do something that I felt God was just nudging me and pulling me to do. Right. And then yesterday I did a kind of a pop-up shop early in the morning. Actually, I show up. I also had some gear for, well, I was supposed to have a hoodie for a gentleman, Mr. Lynn Johnson. He had bought one last week, but he wasn't going to be there Friday. So we didn't really schedule a day to meet up. But I remember that he bowled on Tuesdays, so I decided that, all right, I'm gonna go up there Tuesday. I'm already, at the very least, I'll at least just give him his shirt or give him his hoodie. I get up there. As I'm starting to pull out my stuff, I realize I forgot his hoodie at home. And now I still wound up doing a pop-up shop, but he was there. But I told him, I was like, oh man. He's like, well, would you be here later tonight? And I said, nah, I wasn't really planning on it. See, I didn't plan on coming back that day. I wound up coming back only, well, first to give him the hoodie, but I said, you know what, I'm going to be up here anyway. There's going to be a league here. Why not, sell, try to see if I can sell some more gear. And on top of that, I've been trying to do a new approach where I, again, try to be more bolder, have flyers, really get to talk to people about what the mission is that, hey, when you buy my gear, when you're buying my hoodie, when you're buying my shirts, when you're buying my, book, any of that stuff, like all that stuff helps really for where I am right now as an entrepreneur. Like that stuff helps me to go into these schools and be able to speak for free. Like that's my source of income, basically. So I come back, and as I'm handing out flyers, I hear on the loudspeaker the owner of the bowling alley kind of making an announcement of like, hey, come support Brian, get over his table. And mind you, I'm actually doing the other work where I'm actually going to the people, like trying to, just, again, not necessarily sell, but just say, hey, this is who I am, this is what I'm doing, this is how you can support me, right? He makes an announcement. Like 20 minutes later, he's like,